In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 books that changed my life. They've helped me improve my English, build solid habits, and sharpen my thinking. And I believe they can do the same for you. Hello everyone, my name's Carrie. I spent 13 years as a conference interpreter working with leaders like Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio. Now I'm an English communication coach helping Chinese professionals improve their communication skills and build confidence. The first book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. What I love about Atomic Habits is how practical and useful this book is. Most self-help books are full of vague ideas and instructions. So by the end of the book, you are basically the same person as you were before reading the book. Nothing has changed. But if you read Atomic Habits, you will start building real habits from the first chapter. The author James Clear writes in a very relatable way. He explains the science behind behavior change, so you get very excited to change your behavior and build habits. Then he will give you step-by-step tools so that you can build and reinforce the habits. When I was reading the book, I built a habit of journaling, reading, walking for an hour a day, and my students also told me that they started building new habits when they were reading the book. The language of the book is very simple, clear, and actually fun to read. If you're working on your English communication, this book is perfect for reading out loud. And by the way, if you didn't know this, reading out loud is one of the best ways to boost your English communication. The second book is Tiny Habits. This book is also about changing behavior and building habits. This book is by BJ Fogg. If you're not familiar with him, he's a very big deal in the tech world. He is a world-renowned behavior scientist and tech advisor to many large tech companies. Honestly, I like this book a little bit more than Atomic Habits. And here is why. Most of what you read in Atomic Habits actually comes from BJ's research. But BJ didn't just do research and write theories. He used his methods and coached tens of thousands of real people, and he's got a ton of evidence that these methods work, and that is something that I really appreciate. Now, I don't recommend Tiny Habits to everybody because it's not exactly light reading. Unlike Atomic Habits, this book is packed with a lot of research, a lot of numbers, a lot of flowcharts, a lot of graphs, so it can be a little bit intimidating. But if you love digging into that kind of detail, if you like charts and graphs like I do, you probably will like Tiny Habits even more than Atomic Habits. Of course, reading the book will also help you build strong habits too. The third book is The Daily Laws. This is the correct way to show you. This book is by Robert Greene. This book is very different, very unique because you only read 1 page a day. Robert Greene is one of my favorite authors. He wrote The 48 Laws of Power, 33 Strategies of War, Mastery, and the Art of Seduction. As you can see, each of these books is packed with a lot of details and insights, and they are very dense, very long. You probably don't want to read all of them. And here's the great thing. The Daily Law basically take all the great lessons from all those books and condenses them into one book. Every day you get 1 page, only 1 page, of practical wisdom to help you live better. It covers a lot of different topics: persuasion, strategy, self-control, leadership, and handling tough situations. Sometimes when I'm dealing with a challenge, I'll just open up the book and read a page, and instantly I will find the guidance or the inspiration that I need. What I love most about this book is that you only read 1 page a day. Let's be real. Sometimes you want to read, but you just don't have time. So this book is actually perfect for those days when you want to learn something useful, but you don't want to sit there for 20 minutes and read a book. And by the way, Robert Greene is such a phenomenal writer, and his words are very easy to understand and very fun to read. By the way, if you enjoy this video and you want more videos like this, let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. The fourth book is the one book that I talk about all the time. Oh my God, I love this book so much. It's the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. I am a huge fan of Naval Ravikant. If you're not familiar with Naval, he is a brilliant entrepreneur and investor. What I love most about him is how clear he thinks and how pithy his language is. So here's the thing. Naval actually didn't write the book. One of his fans put this book together, pulling things from his best interviews and reflections. So in this book, you're gonna see what clear thinking and great language look like. And this is so important to me because if you want to learn how to think clearly or how to speak great language, and you've never seen that level of clarity before, how would you even start to imitate? How would you learn? This book is perfect if you want to learn how to think, if you want to speak great English. The book covers practical issues that every one of us cares about. For example, how to live a fulfilling life, how to be happy, how to build wealth. So this book is actually a must-read in my program. After reading the book, my students told me things like, "Oh, Carrie, I couldn't put this book down. I love it so much, so I bought it for family members," or "This book has changed my life completely." Trust me, they are 1000% correct, because this book is that good and it's worth reading multiple times a year. And by the way, it's also perfect for reading out loud. The fifth book is called How to Live. This is actually a very short book, and it's by one of my favorite people, Derek Sivers. Derek is a musician, a programmer, a very successful entrepreneur, but to me, he's best known as a free thinker and an incredible writer. This book is very short, but it's very deep. It's easy to read, but it might take you a long time to finish, because what makes you stop and think about the biggest question that every one of us all face, that is, how to live. In this book, Derek offers 27 different answers to one question: how to live. These questions seem to conflict with one another. One chapter might tell you to live freely, the other chapter will say you have to commit to one thing, because the goal of the book isn't to tell you what to do or what to think, but to open up your mind. He is provoking your thoughts, not giving you the correct answer, because there is only one person in the world who can answer the question of how to live, and that person is you. So each chapter reads like a poem. It's short, it's beautiful, and it's rhythmic. Derek's background as a musician definitely comes through in his writing. I've played piano for many years, so I really appreciate writing that feels melodic and rhythmic. The language is very simple, but the ideas are very powerful and will stay with you. I've read the book multiple times, and I highly recommend it. Here is a bonus book, because I always like to reward people who stick around until the end. Poor Charlie's Almanack. This is actually a new version of the book, and I do believe that this book was published after Charlie Munger passed away. Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's business partner, and he was famous for his sharp thinking, mental models, and humor. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This book actually was pretty thick and looks a little bit intimidating. I held off on reading the book for a long time because of that. But when I finally picked it up, I realized it's actually not very difficult to go through. The book is split into 11 talks that Charlie Munger gave, and each chapter is short and packed with a lot of value. Charlie Munger's style is practical and fun. He uses a lot of stories and examples to make you understand his ideas. I want to give you a little bit of warning if you decide to read the book. Some of the language has a little bit of a flair, which means that there are a few long sentences you might have to read twice or 3 times in order to understand. But trust me, it's worth it. You are learning from one of the greatest thinkers in our time. This book will show you how to think clearly, how to make better decisions, and how to live a happier life. So there you have it, 6 powerful books. And if you want more videos like this, let me know. If you're ready to build your reading habits because you know it's so important for your career and for your personal growth, go watch this video. In this video, I shared how I went from binge watching TV to using reading to change my life.